Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the movie The Meg, and I really enjoyed this movie. Now granted, are there leaps and bounds because it's about the Megalodon in present times? Sure. But the thing is, this movie knows what it is. It's silly, it's got Jaws references, it's got frickin' Finding Nemo and Dory references, and it's just a stupid kind of action movie, B kind of movie, and it does its thing very well. And if you're looking for like in-depth characters and everything like that in a serious storyline, this isn't it. If you're looking for a kind of just zany, off-the-wall kind of premise, your typical shark movie gone awry, this is definitely your kind of movie. It's got great action, just great one-liners and everything, and just overall a pretty good time. So, the movie starts out 5 years previously as we see this group trying to rescue these people in a downed submarine. And we see Jason Statham's character, Jonas, helping out and everything. He's got two compatriots with him. But the thing is, they're trying to get back to their sub, and something attacks the sub that's downed. Jonas is only able to get up. He hears everything going down and decides to leave the two behind because he saw something was going for the sub. And if he hadn't, everyone would have died. People put it that it was like a pressure-induced psychosis, like the doctor would be like, "What are you doing, man?" He's like, "I'm saving everybody." And I think that was pretty much the right decision. We then get to the present day, and we see Rainn Wilson's character, who's this like millionaire dude, going out to this deep-sea research facility that he's been funding. And it's pretty kind of cool. We see all this group of cast of people and everything, and they have this theory that there's actually deeper parts than the Marianas Trench, and that there's this like hydrogen sulfide layer that creates a thermocline, and that once they get down through there, they could see anything. So they get this one sub going down, they see it going, it's like, oh, cool. Like, no lights penetrating underneath there, so they gotta set their own stuff up, they're swimming around, and then they get attacked. And their sub is pinned down there, and shenanigans are ensuing, and it just so happens that one of the people in the sub is Jonas's ex-wife. Okay, let's see how this rolls out. So, there's one dude, Mac, and the doctor of the station, Zhang, the one who's like in charge of the whole thing, decide to go to Thailand to try and recruit Jonas to help. And he doesn't want to do anything. He's pretty much just been sitting there drinking beer. And that's about the extent of what he's been doing. But they show what's been going on, and he's like, I knew I wasn't crazy. So he goes mainly to disprove that he was insane with what was going on. Of course, the doctor that was part of the rescue mission for 5 years previous is there, and he still thinks that Jonas is crazy, but they get there. We see that Zhang's daughter has decided to go down and try to attempt a rescue mission herself, and she's like rolling around down there, and Jonas is getting himself launched down there, and he's diving at an accelerated rate because the daughter is in Suyeon is in a glider and not something that has the capacity to take multiple heavy blows. So she gets attacked by a giant squid, but then the Megalodon comes and freaking eats the squids. Holy shit. But that's when Jonas comes in. They're able to get out two of the three people that was in the sub, his ex-wife and this other big guy, but Toshi's toasted in the sub because he's doing it to attract the Megalodon, so that way everybody else could escape. So they're able to get out, but as they do, we see that Suyeon's daughter, Mei Ying, is like walking around, and we see the Megalodon try and take a bite out of the place. And it's like, how did this happen? Well, evidently, with their rapid ascent, they were able to make a pocket that the Megalodon was able to come up through. It's like, okay. And we see it take out frickin' a humpback whale, and then the humpback whale's calf. It's like, holy shit. In my opinion, it took a little bit too long in the beginning. I think that this movie would have been better served if it was like an hour and a half. I don't mind it, but it didn't really build tension. I'm like, okay, when I'm in these kinds of movies, I'm like, okay, Megalodon, I know what I'm getting into. let's go and see these things fight. Like if it's giant monsters or giant robots fighting giant monsters. Or just robots in disguise and everything. I'm there for that. That's the express kind of purpose. So that's when I'm like, okay, took a little bit long, and then we're like, okay, we kind of have to like get on this thing. So they start going after it, taking out some boats. So they decide to try and figure out how to kill this thing. They essentially take all this bottle that could like trank something, and they're going to use it to try and kill the Megalodon. And they're going, okay, how are we going to do that? It's like spinning around over there. So we get Jason Statham, Jonas going through. He says like, just keep swimming, as he freaking free swims to try and get close enough to tag the Megalodon so they know where it's at. No. I mean, if I lived in these action movies with their rules and everything, I probably would do it. But in the real world, I'm like, granted, that thing's big and would probably have other things going around, like going away because of how big it is. The fuck? No! So he gets roped in because he's able to shoot it and it's like, hey, what the fuck are you? And he's coming after him. And they get him back on the boat and they decide to use the spear thing and have Soo-Yun in a like shark cage. And it's funny because the tech person's like, oh, don't worry. If it bites it, it's built to not break. It's supposed to like crumple and everything. I'm like, what if it swallows it? And the movie asks and answers that question for me. Thank you. And it like comes up at her and Soo-Yun's like, yeah, it's not biting me. It's fucking swallowing me. And then Jonas like, well, she's able to stab it in the mouth with the spear harpoon thing, but that only just kind of like gets it to toss it out, and her mask gets cracked. So Jonas swims down to like get her out and is able to do it, and they're able to get back up, and they killed it. And we see it put on the boat. It's like, yeah. And I then look at my watch. I'm like, we still have a runtime. Let me guess. Second Megalodon. Whoosh! Called it, and it fucking eats the damn smaller Megalodon, and yes, this one's bigger, and tips the boat and everything, and eats the doctor. Oh, and eats the big guy too. Yeah. I was like, okay, so then it's pretty much swimming to like the most populated area of the bay around China, and it's like, okay, how are you guys gonna do this? Well, before it gets there, the billionaire dude, they're able to make it back to the research station as they're trying to like evacuate. He makes it like that he's gotten everybody to go after said Megalodon. Didn't, and he's instead going around and trying to do depth charges on it itself, and we find out that's like, oh, I killed it. It's like, no, you didn't. 1, more time for the movie. 2, that's a whale. And he's like, hey, get a tooth. And it's like, it doesn't have any teeth. What? And the sharks are eating it. And they're trying to get out. He gets flung off the boat. The Megalodon's coming at him. He's on top of the whale first. The bite goes in the whale. The next bite kills the billionaire dude. He then goes on its way to the populated bay area. And they're like, okay, let's try and get it in the shallows and use whale sounds like they were doing to get whales close to the research station. So they're using pretty much 2 gliders to fight this thing in the shallows. And I'm just thinking, okay, I know this movie isn't supposed to be that well thought out, but this thing is like fucking huge. If it got anywhere near the shallows, near those people, it would have fucking beached itself and fucking died. I'm like, but still, that's not epic enough. There's certain amounts of suspension of disbelief that you gotta take into account. I'm like, that's one thing. Didn't really bother me because we gotta get a kick-ass action scene going on. So they're swimming around trying to like fire torpedoes and shit at this thing. We got helicopters flying around being like, that's a big fucking shark. Nobody's paying attention to where they're flying in the sky, smacking into boats, people falling out. Soo-Yun's able to rescue her daughter and this other guy, and then Jason Statham's like, alright, I got this. And he's not able to fire his thing, but he's able to cut open the belly of the Megalodon, and then the Megalodon's pretty much chomping on it, and then he's able to get out and then stab it through the eye with like this poison thing that dies. I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty badass way to go out. And then all these other sharks just come in and just start devouring the thing. I'm like, I can dig with that. And then Jason Statham pretty much gets on with the daughter of Dr. Zhang, even though he's dead. And the granddaughter likes him too. It's like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm like, all right, sure got the girl. Monster is dead. We get to the end credits, and it ends Finn. I'm like, yeah, these are my kind of people. And while this is going on, we had also seen a lot of Jaws references with the dog in the water named Pippin and all that. The beach, we see this kid that's similar to Jaws where the mom's like, I want to go in the water. It's like, fine, stay in the... And God, it was densely packed. I'm like, good God, do you know how warm that would be? Not just with people peeing in the ocean. I'm just like, the body's warm in it. And then people peeing in the ocean. It's worse than a pool, man. But I'm just like, and all the carnage and mayhem, I'm like, yeah, this movie knew what it was doing. And I'm like, okay, I know that there's not going to be character depth or anything. We're just going to get the action here, saying the one-liners, beating up shit, and looking kick-ass while they do it. I'm like, yeah, they did a good job. The graphics were pretty good. There weren't any, like, really jarring things. The Megalodon looked pretty cool. And, yeah, I just overall really enjoyed this movie. And, hey, if you don't have anything that you're going to see, definitely see this. It's just a good kind of fun throwaway movie. Like, if you see a matinee or whatnot, definitely. And when it comes out, definitely rent it. It's just a fun, stupid-ass movie. So those are my opinions on the movie. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.